Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Monday Morning Moos. I am your host, the Consultant, coming to you live high atop the Pikes Peak in beautiful, sunny Colorado, USA. This is the show where you get your information and inspiration in the amount of time it takes to milk a cow. Just like to say happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, the bovine and the human, the two-legged and the four-legged version. So let's get started with the May 10th edition of the Moos. From the number one magazine in the industry, Progressive Dairy, a friend of the show. Visit progressivedairy.com to get all the latest industry news, as we do. Here's their top story. After a winter of discontent hampered by logistical problems and other corona-related challenges, U.S. ag exporters added some spring to their step, with March 2021 global sales setting a strong pace on several fronts. Whether measured by volume, value, or percentage of production, the first quarter of 2021 ended with a shower of good news for dairy product exports. Southeast Asian demand for U.S. dairy continues to run hot. The U.S. has steadily grown market share in that area over the year, overtaking New Zealand and the EU to become the largest market shareholder in milk solids exports. The strong growth in March can be attributed to a rubber band effect, where product was purchased potentially months ago and finally able to get onto a boat for delivery. Ongoing port issues remain a key obstacle for continuing the export growth in the region. Despite these challenges, U.S. dairy is well positioned to continue growing exports to that region and capturing increased market share. A federal agency, the USDA, has just been sued for urging Americans to go big on milk, cheese, and other dairy. 3 doctors filed a lawsuit Wednesday in federal court against the U.S. Department of Ag for its guidance in December suggesting Americans consume 3 servings of dairy a day. The doctors allege in the lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of California that the dietary guidelines contradict current scientific and medical knowledge, harming the quarter of Americans who are lactose intolerant. They also suggest that USDA is looking out for the interest of the meat and dairy industries rather than the health of Americans. That one is from the Washington Post. From Newsweek, the government of the state with the third most recorded COVID-19 cases in India has unveiled a special helpline for cattle, a move many are condemning as the region continues to suffer dozens of human deaths a day. Help desks are being set up in all of Uttar Pradesh's districts for people to call on and report cows in need of help. Cow shelters are set to receive medical equipment like oximeters and thermal scanners for the animals. The decree by Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, who is known for his directives to protect cows in Uttar Pradesh, is mandating the cow shelters adhere to COVID-19 protocols, including masks and frequent thermal screening for the safety of the animals. According to state data, Uttar Pradesh maintains more than 5,000 cow protection centers or gaushlas where some 500,000 plus cattle are looked after. More than 400,000 cows are in the state's 4,529 shelters and 171 large cow conservation centers with the capacity to house more than 57,000 cows. The government is looking to expand its gaushlas to shelter the state's stray cattle, a state spokesperson said. Now we move on to your inspirational moment of the day. One of my favorite guys, actor Clint Eastwood, is known for his tough and macho roles. From playing a cowboy in Rawhide and spaghetti westerns, he exuded masculinity. There was no one cooler than Mr. Eastwood. He solidified that fact when he played legendary Inspector Dirty Harry Callahan. So it's no surprise that everybody's favorite macho man turned into a real-life hero in 2014 when he saved a man's life. That was the story here from Showbiz Cheat Sheet. The one time Clint Eastwood was a real-life hero. That was the case back in 2014 during the Pebble Beach Pro-Am tournament when the event's CEO, Steve Johns, was attending a party the night before the event honoring its volunteers. Disaster struck when John was eating hors d'oeuvres and one got lodged in his throat. Eastwood jumped into action, performed the Heimlich maneuver, and says, "I looked into his eyes and saw the look of panic people have when they see their life passing before their eyes. It looked bad," Eastwood said. John feels lucky Eastwood was attending. "It was as bad as it could have been. Clint saved my life." That's awesome. Get your life saved by Clint Eastwood. So let's end the show today. We always like to end, our show with some inspirational stories and a meme. Or Mr. Eastwood, I found this one. Respect your efforts, respect yourself. Self-respect leads to self-discipline. When you have both firmly under your belt, that's real power. All right, thank you, Clint Eastwood. And a nod to our sponsors. We'll end the show there today. It's been a great Monday. Again, happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers, especially my mother, Miss Patrice. How you doing? You always like my show. You're the only one that shares it, but so give you a shout out. Happy Mother's Day, and have a great week. We'll see you next time on the Monday Morning Moos. Take care, everybody.